In case you somehow missed it, BLOXBURG got a completely new map. With this new map, it came with beach and mountain plots. I asked you guys in my community tab which house you'd like to see first, and well, the poll is very clear. Today, I built my dream mountain lake house in BLOXBURG. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to find out how I built it. If you want to help vote for my next house, make sure you subscribe. I'm getting really close to 20,000 subscribers and I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, let's get started. Okay, first thing we need to do is build the floor plan / shell of the house. I just have to figure... Okay, I already pre-built the floor plan for this because you guys should know me by now and I am physically incapable of building a floor plan. Okay, so let's finish building the floor plan. I just spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out where I want to actually place the house because it's pretty large and long, but I needed to figure out what placement would be best for it, so I just spent forever. However, if you guys are gonna be wanting to recreate this house, I will have the link to the floor plan in the description below, but I'm just gonna finish the floor plan real quick. So I got a little carried away after I paused the recording to finish the layout. I meant to unpause my recording, but clearly I forgot to. This entire area is pretty much done-ish to an extent, so I'll just explain. But to summarize kind of what I did, all I did was you can still see the floor plan, but all I did was I just took basic shapes and kind of like made the walls like thicker so they have a bit more depth to them. So then I have a side door to the garage. I had a whole issue, which is kind of nice that I didn't actually record this, but
yes, I did that. And you would do it too for a check.
I had to redo how thick everything was and like where everything placed like 9 times, so it kind of worked out. So I've got the garage doors here, we got a little roof overhang, and then I got this little corner piece as well. Starting to work a little bit over here to the front entry. I still got to figure out how I'm going to do the driveway. As of right now, all I'm thinking is to just do like a straight kind of ramp shot up here and then it just curve in. Okay, editor Infenet here. For some reason, I was so hyper fixated on trying to figure out the driveway. It's kind of insane how many times I mention it throughout this entire video. We'll see. This is going to be kind of messy, but we'll find out. And then if you're curious, this is like a lowered garden bed for some reason. I don't know. I kind of like it though, because then there's like windows up here and then like windows down here, so you can kind of, it gets more light into the lower level. And I really love the idea of those windows, so that's what I'm working on right now. But I really like that it like steps down kind of like the windows do, and like you can see into the little lower dirt area, I guess planter box, I don't know what else to call it. It kind of just gives them more like, I don't know, just kind of nice to be in that lower level and like look up and you see some plants that are closer to you, and then also get all the lighting to come in through those windows. That's super random, but and then they're not identical to the real life house. Those windows aren't, just because in the real house the windows are much higher, but I kind of based my whole house to be a little shorter ceiling wise compared to theirs. And then you also might have just seen me, I accidentally forgot to go into full screen when I started this clip segment, so you saw I had to cut out my taskbar from being seen in the video. But the stone depth kind of thing that I did with the basic shapes was kind of annoying because you might see it throughout the video, but if you had the textures or the basic shapes overlapping, it gives like a darker color and it just does not look good at all. It looks weird. So I had to be super precise with how I did the basic shapes throughout the whole house. So that was just kind of time consuming to figure out, but I think it looks really good in the end because it gives a little bit more depth to it. I think the real house had it, or I just randomly made it up, but because of how the pictures looked. But honestly, I really like how it came out because it looks perfect. The depth, it just adds so much to it. And then I was worried that it's gonna make me hit the basic shape limit quicker because I have that and then the custom ceilings, blah blah blah. So I hope I don't hit the basic shape limit. I probably jinxed it by now when I get to the interior. I keep forgetting I'm actually supposed to be recording the process, but okay, I ended last night with, I don't actually know what I last showed, but got this window partially done. I'm trying to figure out the height of everything because the roof has to be entirely custom for what I'm trying to go for. I got this front wall done. I don't know if I showed this, and then I kind of was getting ready around the corner a little bit. I think I have the idea how I want to go about doing the driveway up. I told you guys, I am so hyper fixated on this stupid driveway for some reason, and I genuinely don't know why. I was debating of doing like a private driveway, but I might just do a, like, make it look like a road in the mountains here, but I don't know, still. That's for a later issue. I want to finish the house first and then build the terrain up around it. But I'm starting a little bit on the backside here, just because I want to make sure I got, like, some of the key things out of the way. So then for this little, like, it's a breakfast nook, because it's not a formal dining space, but I'm calling it a breakfast nook. So the breakfast nook kind of overhangs, and in the real house, it overhangs a lot more. I think it was a cool feature to have, because then it kind of makes it look like you're just eating and floating over the backyard of your home and stuff. And then I really love the little bar pop-out thing. It's so random, but I think it's perfect. I actually thought about decorating it, while I was doing the exterior. Like, at this point, I was so excited to get to decorating it, because it's gonna be so cool. But I had to withhold myself a little bit, and not do it off camera and not do it in the wrong section, because I was obviously doing the whole exterior in this video and then doing the entirety of the interior in the next video. But I really did not want to. I really wanted to start the interior, but I couldn't, obviously, so I got a whole Pinterest board together of ideas that I want to do, but I have to refine it a little bit so I can make it a little easier for myself while I'm decorating it. But I've got so many ideas, and I just need to get into it and start decorating. Except, I will say this house really ate up my money. I think it's over $1.3 million. There is one car in the plot. It's a BLOXBURG car, so I think it's only like $60,000 maybe. But that's still a lot of money for this exterior. It's because those trees ate up my money. Like, okay, I'm trying to, like, think about it through, because the house exterior itself was only like 500,000-ish, but then, like, the landscaping and trees and plants and all that costed me, like, well over 500,000. I think it was close to 700,000 it costed me for all that, which is so annoying how expensive the trees are in this game. But it paid off in the end. It looks good. I'll just have to delete a plot or something because I need my money back. Otherwise, I'm gonna be broke for my next building video, because I'm down to, like, I think less than 500k by the time I finished recording everything for this video, which is insane. But again, one of my best builds. I love it. I love how it came out. It's perfect for the mountain and lake plots, and I'm so excited to get this video out for you guys, because I've been so excited working on it for like the last 2 weeks. I know I spent longer on it than I should have, and I went a little too extra, but honestly, I think it pays off, because I haven't built a true house in BLOXBURG in like almost 2 years. So I think it was definitely worth it. Okay, I finished the windows over here. I can't decide how I feel. It's pretty accurate to the real image, but like realistically there'd be sliding doors here, but we don't got functioning doors like that in the size that I want. So I have to make them custom, and they have to be stationary, but oh well. I got the windows done. Well, door/windows. I might reconfigure it. I'm not sure how I feel, but oh well. So next I need to build this roof section up just so I can get the right height figured out. If I talk about trying to figure out the height one more time, I'm gonna lose it. I'm so slow. It's not even funny how slow I am when it comes to building. Okay, and then so for this section, we're doing the part of the roof/ceiling. So I had to, in the real house, it has these like kind of I don't know how to describe it, like these little beams that kind of like pop down and match the height of the rest of the ceiling. And then there's also the lights in it as well, or on it, but it looks so good. It adds so much like texture and depth to the house. So worth the amount of time and money it spent on this, because like each panel, I think it ended up being $10,000 for each panel, which was like over like pretty much it was like a third. Just those panels were alone like almost well over a third of the budget for the roof, which is insane. But they looked so good. And of course, with the structurals on it, for some reason the transform tool got so sensitive, and I had to be so precise. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but my mouse has like this little thing that lowers the sensitivity of my mouse, so it makes it more like I can be more precise with my movements. So that really helped me kind of like work my way and get the ceiling to be very, very flat and then look cohesive and stuff. But the ceiling it paid off in the end, I'll say. Because I was gonna do a flat roof and then last minute changed to a slanted roof, which I think I talk about like multiple times throughout this video, but the slanted roof just complements the landscaping so much better than if I did a flat, and it's so much more realistic to do the slant, which I think I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, I have last minute decided to change the roof. I want to slant it. I think it'll just look cooler and less boring than it just being flat, but now I have to make it all clonable. So now I've got this $30,000 piece. It's gonna be probably like $50,000 at this point, because each of these, I don't think I showed this, but I added these like thinner pieces with beams across them and lights to give some more texture in here, because I was looking at it and it looks really plain, and this kind of gives it some more depth to it, which I really like it. And this entire section already is 30,000, and I still have to add all these tiles back on, and then I still have to finish this piece. So it's probably it's gonna be an expensive roof for this one segment. And also, if you're curious why the roof is looking like Pepto-Bismol, that's because I was just going one by one and transforming them. So I was just literally placing down each piece, lowering it, and then, okay, my mouse is amazing. Shout out to the Logitech G502X. It's got this like little like button on the side, which would be used for like first-person shooter games, so you can like slow your tracking with it, but I'm using it to slow and be more precise with the roof. Okay, I finally got it all situated-ish. However, one thing, do not build it all into one section. I low-key forgot about that this existed, but there is a limit as to how much you can transform on one thing. So just like the wood layer itself was too much to transform, but each blue tile is responsible for a section of roof, so that means I can transform the entire roof, but in chunks. Okay, and now we're on to roof variation number 5, I think, because we have each little stone section has its own separate roof, and then we have the big slant roof, and then we have, what is it, we have the little foyer roof, which was honestly a pain to try and fill in. I realized that later when I was like trying to finish it off. I don't think I have it on camera of me trying to fill in the gaps, but because the ceiling is raised and kind of like would stand on like not pillars, like little supports over the stone, but then you have to fill it in. So I don't think I put that on camera, thankfully. And then of course there's the separate roof for the primary suite. So there's a lot of roofs in this build, but I think it looks so cohesive and perfect. This roof it's straightforward and simple because it's still flat. I was gonna slant it, but that was too much work. But this roof was kind of a pain because I had to worry about, I had to redo a lot because the beams made it not transformable at one point. So then I had to fix it up. And then I forgot that I have to make it a little shorter for like another section. And then I forgot I had to make it another piece to go over the the breakfast nook little pop out. Otherwise it looked weird. I don't think I put that on camera, thankfully, because that looked so ugly. I don't know why I thought that was going to be a good idea, but clearly was not a good idea. But I think this roof turned out pretty good as well. Complements and matches the other roofs pretty well. Okay, the exterior is pretty much finished. I don't know how much footage I included of me building this roof, but it's none. You recorded none of it because you're stupid. Literally like the rest of them. So I did slant this upper one a little bit just to give it a little bit of differentiation and not just be kind of boring and flat. And I think it works also. You don't get much view out of these windows, which kind of sucks, but I have 3 fireplaces I need to build real quick, and that I have to finish this as well. Okay, I finished 2 of the fireplaces. I left okay, so I finished this one. This one's nice. Wait, let me show it in person. Okay, for this one, I found a picture off of Pinterest that I really liked. So I tried to recreate it, and so it's not bad. I like it. It's different. I used like the rock wall that we have in game from the garden section as like the back of it, so it gives it some texture and depth, which is really cool. And then for the lighting, I literally just have I don't think you can see them. I have torches that I wall torches that I transformed. And then I left this one because I kind of want to save it for the interior, just so I can get a better idea. I did make the top chimney area at least, but... And then this one, I'm not sure how I feel about it entirely. I feel like it's too thick, but at the same time, I kind of like the thickness of it. This one is a... What was that animation? Hello? Oh! Hello? When was that an animation in this game? Okay, anyways, moving on. That was really cool. Wait, I used one of the actual fireplaces just because it was easier and it actually worked in the size constraint that I had here. But so the next big thing I need to work on is obviously the terraforming and landscaping. I didn't finish landscaping here because I got to figure out how I'm going to slope around here a little bit. Okay, and then sorry for the big jump cut. I paused the recording after I said all that and then try to figure out what I was going to do with the landscaping. I know there's a little bit that you can see in the camera frame, but so I was trying to figure out how I wanted to go about doing the landscaping and terraforming, because I know a lot of people, and I was originally just going to do a bunch of like slopes, but then I was messing around with it and it was going to just look way too boxy for what I was going for with this whole house, and it wasn't going to look right, and it just felt off. So I was trying to figure out a alternative way to do it. And then I remembered that I could use mansard roofs because that's what a lot of people use for hills still. And then I don't remember who it is, and I'm so sorry, but I saw somebody a few people who used like spheres and half spheres to make their landscaping more round and natural looking. I know Describe did it quite a bit in some of his hillside houses that he did on his channel, but I think it looks really good. I would have added more of the half spheres around, but I was worried about hitting the basic shape limit, and that would have been an absolute nightmare to deal with if that when I got to the interior. So I might go back later and add a couple more half spheres, but I already finished the landscaping, so it doesn't really matter too much at this point. And then I don't know if you saw it a couple points, but I have some custom height trees that I used Floaty's undo glitch for. You'll just have to go watch his video. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description, but he explains the undo glitch really well. But all I did was I placed a dirt pile, raised it up to the height that I wanted the tree to be at, and then placed the tree, undid it quickly at the same time as I placed the tree, so then the dirt pile would go back down, but the tree would still be placed there, and then added a structural beam to give some height variation. I did that for all the trees, and it looked perfect. It came out exactly how I wanted it to. And then the patios, I did not record the one patio, like the mid-level one, I guess, off of the main floor, just because I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do design-wise for everything. I used a lot of random Pinterest pictures to decorate all these patios, because again, there's like 3 to 4 patios total, depending on how you look at it. Still not totally sure how I feel about this big one with the umbrella by the pool. The furniture combo looks kind of weird, but at the same time it looks fine. I'm gonna fine-tune things as I work on the interior. I'll fine-tune the patios, and I'll probably add a couple decal plants around. I felt weird not using any. The house looks really good. Also credits to Lukiokes for pool inspiration. I referenced his pool that he used in his ski chalet, just because I really love that one, with how the lights kind of like blend into the pool water from how they're placed, as well as like the dark marble that's placed around the pool. So, but otherwise, I'm finally done with the house. I finished all the landscaping and everything, and I'm so relieved to be done. Now that the exterior of the house is complete, let's take a look at it. Alright, first thing you'll notice is that we've got the big hill up here. I did add a stop sign down here and a little street sign, because the idea is that this would be off of like a big main road in the mountains. So then we got this little path that winds up, all the trees, bushes, rocks, everything. And then going up the road here to the top of the hill, we got the gate that leads into the actual home. And then heading in, we've got the large kind of motor court area. Got a little dirt patch in the middle. Again, tons of plants surrounding the entirety of the house. And we got a 3-car garage and then a spot for parking on the side of it as well. Got a small pathway that leads up to the front porch. And then heading out to the back, so up right off of the what will be the living room, we've got a large dining space that can seat up to 8 people. And then we got a small outdoor kitchenette, I guess. It's just got a counter and stove. And then over here we have the patio space for the primary suite, some armchairs, just a nice little couch. We got some day beds out here as well. And I forgot to mention the double-sided fireplace. And then there's a little path here that leads down to the lowered patio. Just some more lounging, of course. We got a large couch and then some small little chairs, custom fire pit that I made. And then, of course, heading to the lower level of the home, we have the walkout to the lower patio space along with the pool. 3 day beds as well. I might add another umbrella. I don't know. I kind of liked the one. And then we've got this pretty large seating area as well, with some more chairs and a couple couches and a custom fire pit. And then over here, this one's really cozy. Just a couch and some armchairs. But then you got the fireplace here, and I love this fireplace. It's so perfect. And then I did off camera. Off camera I added this little dirt bed around the lower patio. It felt really empty and kind of just like I gave up in this corner. But hopefully in my next video I can work on getting the interior finished. I've got a lot to work with.